Good morning, as we are here in Championship Week at the Northeast Conference. I'm Ralph Ventre here at NEC headquarters in Somerset, New Jersey. We have an extremely busy week on tap. We'll crown 5 team champions this week, including in men's and women's track and field. Today, we'll have 2 special Geico Google Hangouts to preview the action at Robert Morris at this weekend's NEC Outdoor Men's and Women's Track and Field Championships. First up today, we have a special guest from LIU Brooklyn. It's sophomore hurdler Mica-Jonathan Petit-Homme. And we'll talk to Mica in just a moment. First, please let me remind you that today's NEC Google Hangout is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com. And now, moving on to our program, it's my pleasure to welcome in LIU Brooklyn sophomore hurdler Mica-Jonathan Petit-Homme. Mica, thank you so much for joining us today. You were a champion as a freshman at the 2013 outdoor meet, so I assume this year, as you enter as the top seed in the 400-meter hurdles, I assume that anything less than another gold medal would be a disappointment to you in a way, no?
You're positive. You're right. You're on the dot.
Now, what's your goal this weekend? Individually, obviously, to get that 400-meter hurdles crown, but what else will be your focus this weekend out at Robert Morris?
Besides the 400-meter hurdles, I guess I could say that I want to double up on the goal intake by actually running the open 400. So me and my coach has been talking about doubling up on the 4 and the 4 hurdles. So hopefully, I come back from the open 4 with a gold, and then take back my title again in the 4 hurdles. This is probably the goal right now.
So you mentioned doubling up, and of course that'll be important for LIU on the team side of things. It'll give you an opportunity to score some more points for the Blackbirds, and we'll talk about the team standings and the race for the team title in a minute. But I want to get back to what you mentioned, in that you're going to attempt the 400 hurdles and then also the 400-meter dash, the quarter-mile race. Now, I mentioned that in indoor season, back in February, you were the NEC 500-meter champion. Obviously, the extra 100 meters, can you talk a little bit about the difference between the 2 races? Obviously, you're a champion in the 500-meter. How will that translate when you cut 100 meters off and now you just run the quarter mile?
I guess with the 500, it's more of a conditioning phase for the 4 hurdles and possibly the 400. So the extra 100 is like, you could say it relates back to every hurdles that we're going off on. So from the takeoff to the landing, that's like, you could say at least a 10-meter of the 100 of the 500. So it's just like a conditioning phase of me getting much better at closing my races for the 4 hurdles.
So although the 500-meter is a championship event at our indoor meet, it's mostly just a training exercise for outdoor season to prepare yourself for the 400-meter hurdles outdoors, as well as the quarter mile?
Yes, definitely. I mean, it's crucial. It's very hard. I'm not gonna lie. It's really intense. But I'd had to do what I had to do to be on the top.
So both the 500-meter, it's a demanding race as well, then.
Oh yes, very demanding.
Now, you mentioned the double, of course, and if you come home with 2 gold medals, that's obviously 20 points for your team. And LIU Brooklyn, having won the men's indoor team championship in February, I'm sure that you're thinking about winning a team title outdoors, and obviously that would help you guys quite a bit. Is the goal? Is it a realistic goal for LIU to walk away with the men's team title this weekend at Robert Morris?
Oh, definitely. I mean, the training that we have been put through, the hardship and the arguments, the love and hate relationship that we have, the struggle that it comes to getting up early in the morning and going to practice right after class. We've worked hard for it, so I feel as if it's a realistic goal, and we're gonna achieve it. So long as we consistently put faith in each other and faith in our training, we'll most likely definitely get the opportunity to come back home again with another championship title.
Now, obviously, you're confident, and you mentioned that one of the keys is just the team having faith in themselves, having faith in the training, having faith in the coaching staff.
Oh, definitely.
What else has to happen this weekend for LIU to win the team title? Outdoors, there are a couple of extra throwing events, and as we know, LIU doesn't have a very deep throwing department. It's mostly the jumps and the sprints. Does that put any added pressure on you and your teammates, knowing that you have little margin for error? You have to take care of business in your main events because you're not going to pick up points in the throws?
Yes and no. Yes, simply because, as you said, it adds a little more pressure to it. But then again, though, I guess the way we are brought up in our training, we're also used to it. So in a way, no, because we know exactly what we had to do. If, and God forbid, my throwing teammates does not score, then it is our responsibility as the runners and jumpers to actually maximize however much points that we are able to get within our prospective event. And if we are thrown in something that we're not so used to, then we have to maximize as much as we can. So that comes with the idea of confidence in yourself and also confidence in your team. So basically, trust in everything that you're doing, and you'll most likely succeed.
Now, I want to talk about some of your teammates who you'll be working with this weekend going after that team championship. The first one I'm going to mention is a rookie by the name of Adam Walker-Kahn. He was the most outstanding rookie of the meet indoors, and I mention him to you because he's also a 400-meter hurdler. I believe he is fourth right now on the NEC performance list in the 400-meter hurdles. Obviously, you, my friend, are first. You'll be the top seed in that event. What has made Adam so successful as a freshman running the 400-meter hurdles and becoming one of the top 5 in the conference in only his first season?
I guess I'd have to say the training that we're put through, and plus, I guess with hurdles, I'm more of a hurdle maniac. So I'm all about hurdle. Hurdle is life. So basically, whatever I learn from my coach and whatever I research online is what I relay back to my teammates, practically my brothers and my family. So then, in a way, he's piggybacking off of what I'm doing, and then I'm helping him and excelling in whatever he's doing. So therefore, what I'm learning, I relay back to him, and from then on, he increases it and maximizes it to his best of his understanding. And then from then on, each meet that we go to, we find out our mistakes, and then we increase it and make it much better than what it is.
And now I have to ask you about a couple of sprinters on the team, Brendan Rodney, Alistair McLean. What do these two men mean to LIU Brooklyn?
That's a pretty good question. With these guys, it's more of the heart and the soul of the team. You have Brendan, which is the straightforward guy, and Alistair, which is the more of a motivational person. If you're down, he's gonna pick you up. With Brendan, he'll tell you the way it is, but not in a rude way. He'll tell you, "Come on, we need to step up," and from then on, we'll make it to the top. With Alistair, he'll be, "Okay, come on, we know that we're down. You have to keep your head up and consistently up, because the moment you drop it, it'll be over for you." So from then on, it's like, in a way, we all balance out each other. I'm like you could say, the mediator, where one has more power over the other. So I'm like in between each, but then each has their own personality and characteristic that I guess forms the team and molds it into what you could say a championship like a champion like team.
You know, I find it kind of interesting because track and field, for the most part, is an individual sport. When you're out there in your lane, you're all by yourself. And of course, there are individual titles to be won. But from everything that you've told me today, I get the feeling that for LIU at least, track and field is more of a team sport. And not only are you just looking to excel in your individual events, but the reason why you want to excel in those individual events is to score points for your team. What I'm getting at here, Mica, is this is a pretty close-knit group, I assume.
Oh, yes.
Am I correct in that assumption? And what exactly makes this team dynamic so special?
I'd have to say, I guess, because it's like families. We hate and love each other. There's bound to be arguments, but then that makes a great family. If you don't have these quality and criteria, then I don't think you're able to call yourself a family. If you don't argue and then pick each other up by the hand and making sure that you understand why we've been arguing, then I'm not sure exactly how you can say that you're a great team or a great family. So with these criteria that we have, and the constant argument, the love, the motivation, the push, the hatred, it all creates like a bond where we're inseparable in a way. We'll want to see each other, but then we'll hate to see or stand next to each other. So it's just like a confusing relationship between all of us, among all of us.
Oh, sure. It sounds like one big family. So
Yeah.
I assume that you see these men as truly not only your teammates, but your brothers.
Oh, definitely.
Before we wrap up today, Mica, I want to ask you a little more about your individual performance this outdoor season. As we mentioned earlier, you were an NEC champion as a freshman in 2013, but the fact is your times have been consistently better during your sophomore season. Last year, I believe you ran 51:60, but you didn't go under 52 seconds until June.
Yeah.
This year, you were sub 52 seconds the first week of April. You ran the 51:53 at the Florida Relays back on April 3rd. What has allowed you to make such great progress in 1 year's time? And how do you see yourself? Do you see yourself right now at the maximum point of your potential, or do you see yourself going even faster in the 400-meter hurdles before the season is over?
Oh, before the season is over, I definitely see myself running something much faster. And the thing is, with the way my coach and I talk and the way we go about training, he doesn't want us to peak at a certain time or at a certain point, but dramatically increase it at a steady pace. So with me, I have, based off my time last year, my coach has given me like a certain time to run, which is the 50 around the 51, and from then on, I slowly but progressively drop the time onto a better time. And with that, my training has helped me tremendously. And with that, I have, you could say last year my confidence level was not as much as it is this year, and with this year, it's becoming much better. And also my aggressive level is slowly increasing, but progressively going about it. So with that, with these two criterias that are head to head, it's actually helping me on becoming a better hurdler. And from then on, I'm still not too sure about my potential. Therefore, this whole season and the rest of my NCAA careers, I hope to fully understand and even exceed my potential.
Well, I'm not sure if you're aware, but I believe you're in the top 40 of hurdlers in NCAA Division I, and I know you're in the top 20 in the NCAA East region. Only a sophomore, So I don't know if it's crossed your mind at all, Micah, but maybe down the road by that senior season, you could build up to be a national championship contender. Is that something that you would like to achieve during your time at LIU? Is that something that you've thought about, possibly competing at the national championship meet and placing there?
Oh, definitely. This year, my goal, last year as I made it to nationals, I finished 20th. So this year, my goal, God willing, is to finish within the top 16 or even possibly make it back into the final. And with that, I know it requires a lot of confidence and aggressiveness. But I guess because I am still growing, I still have the potential into actually making it. So the decision really relies on me and whether I want to actually grasp that opportunity or not. So therefore, my mindset is we're making it to nationals again, and we're making it within the top 16 or even the top 8 back to finals. So right now, like, I'm really excited, pumped up, ready to run something very good and shock, I guess, the world, my country, and also myself.
A very confident Mica-Jonathan Petit-Homme. You mentioned your country. You are a native of Haiti. You went to high school, though, in New Jersey at Linden. But can you just talk a little bit about the experience of coming to LIU Brooklyn as an international student, and have you enjoyed your time there thus far?
Oh, definitely. Because of the wide diversity, I am unable to get enough of it. So because I am surrounded by my Haitian brethren, Jamaicans, not only the Caribbean, but thus far people around the world. So it's just, I guess you could say, it's really a melting pot. And from then on, it actually molds me into becoming a better character, a better person.
Well, there you have it. Mica-Jonathan Petit-Homme. He goes to LIU Brooklyn in a melting pot, New York City. He's an NEC champion as a freshman. He's looking to become a 2-time NEC champion outdoors this year, this weekend. You can check him out at Robert Morris University, the 2014 NEC Outdoor Track and Field Championships, May 3rd and 4th. Micah, thanks a lot for joining us, and I wish you and your teammates a lot of luck, and especially you. I'll be keeping track if you do complete that double in the 400 dash and then the 400 hurdles. So I want to thank you for your time, and best of luck this weekend, Micah.
Thank you very much for having me, and thank you again.
Anytime. Once again, that was LIU Brooklyn sophomore hurdler Mica-Jonathan Petit-Homme, and this was our Geico Google Hangout, a special track and field championship edition. We'll be back later this afternoon with Colby Smith of Sacred Heart University. Thanks for joining us, folks.